What the fuck did I just see? That is right, ladies and gentlemen. I just got done watching Jessica Jones episode 9. We are moving along. We are trucking here, and the season is nearly coming to an end. And this episode, I have to admit, I think it might be my favorite episode so far this season. I was starting to wonder, was things going to be taking a bit of a slow approach? But in this episode, things definitely picked up for the better, and we're going to talk about it right here, right now. Now, this episode was pretty much about Jessica Jones, as we left previously in the episode, taking Kilgrave to the sealed-off room that in the previous episodes, Simpson showed to Jessica Jones, to keep his powers intact and not use them on anybody. So she does that. She is trying to get evidence to get Hope out of there. So she brings Jerry along. She's showing Jerry the room. And then, Jerry says you need a cop. Jessica Jones is going to the cop, the same black cop in the episode where the cops are about to kill each other. She gets him to show him the evidence, but the cop says pretty much that, I'm not going to do anything until I actually see the evidence for myself. He doesn't even know what he believes, but until he sees it, that's when he will actually testify in court against Kilgrave. So in this episode, a couple of things were good, a couple of things were fantastic, and a couple of things, not too many, were just all over not all over the place, but just was interesting. It makes you wonder exactly what is coming up in these next few episodes. So in this one, something that didn't really, or is still kind of going along because I guess we have to keep on adding it in there, is the whole Garth and her ex thing, where now apparently she was saying she wanted 75%. Now she wants 90%. She's taking her for nearly all her things. And then Jerry's starting to get pissed off. She's getting angry and whatnot. And then, later on, Jerry and Pam, they're playing Tickle the Cat, and then in the office, and then Pam is giving Jerry a bit of an ultimatum to I guess her ex or whatever it may be, get this done quickly and whatnot. But, Jerry says she doesn't like ultimatums. Then we go back to Jessica Jones back in the sealed room. She tells Jerry to come. They see it. And then Jerry, one thing I really liked was that Jerry and Kilgrave, their conversation, where, you kind of already saw in the previous episodes where it showed Jessica Jones pretty much, not Jessica Jones, Jerry kind of going down that dark path already. She was starting to be interested in Kilgrave's things. For some reason, she still had the fetus, or she wants the fetus, or whatever it may be. And then this episode, when she's talking to Kilgrave is like reading her lips and seeing that, she's having problems with her ex, and he was telling her that, power of persuasion could be a powerful thing. She starts to think about it and whatnot. Jessica Jones puts Kilgrave into this, the sealed room, as I said, but the sealed room is filled with water. And then she can easily shock him, so I guess it can knock out anybody that's being controlled by Kilgrave, right? So therefore, she's putting him in there. She's keeping him in there until it's time to pretty much get him out, until they get him on tape, whatnot. And yeah, we still get a little bit of Kilgrave's thing. Now the problem slightly with Kilgrave, but this episode definitely started to fix, was that I was starting to realize that. He started out as kind of this mysterious, creepy figure, but in this episode, or in kind of like the last 3 or whatever, he started to kind of become sympathetic, and you almost started to be like, well, is this guy even scary anymore? It's like he kind of got his balls clipped very quickly, and now he's kind of just like the sympathetic villain that's kind of like her Joker, Jessica Jones' Joker to her Batman. To me, that's what I see it. Somebody that she doesn't want to kill. Everybody says, why don't you kill her? But for some reason, he can't. But yeah, that was a very good thing to see. And then Jerry starts to having this conversation, and then she eventually says, I'm listening to Kilgrave. So she actually starts to take Kilgrave on her offer, and then his offer, and then, we see that later on come into play. But before that, we see Simpson. I've been saying it since the beginning. I'm not really a big Simpson fan. I don't really understand his meaning, but now it seems like Simpson's actually starting to pick things up. As we said in the previous episode, he got blown up by a bomb that Kilgrave sent to him. Then Trish is bringing him to the hospital. He constantly keeps on mentioning this Dr. Kozlov or Cosgrove or whatever it may be. And then he gets to the hospital, Kozlov or whatever, comes there, and then they tell Trish to leave and whatnot. He says, we thought we lost you. We didn't think we'd see you again. And I started to kind of think, what the hell did that mean? Simpson already kind of, I think I said in the previous video where I said Simpson pretty much seemed like he was already a fucked up kind of guy before Kilgrave got to him. And now he seems like he's even more fucked up. So then we see, he's better very quickly after a bomb attack. He's a bit more up. He's not healed per se, but he's feeling a lot more better. His voice is more clear. And then we see the doctor giving him some pills, a couple of pills. He says, one for, I guess, anger, one to calm him down, whatever it may be. And then we see him kind of like tweaking, and I was just like, what the hell is going on here? For some reason, I thought it was more like a modern day, because he said he was a soldier, his soldier buddies. So what I thought, my interpretation was, I thought it was actually kind of like a new version of the super soldier program. You know, maybe he got out. You know, super soldier program. You know, Captain America's top soldier. He's not invincible. He can bleed, he can get hurt, and he can do all that. But, you know, he's still kind of a top of the top. So, you know, my guess is that maybe that's like a super soldier program. Who knows? I don't know, but we'll see in the next episode. Another thing, we saw Malcolm, apparently in the support group for Kilgrave. We saw him. He's looking a lot more healthy. He's looking cleaner. The previous episode, I was starting to wonder if he's, you know, starting to get clean. Why don't he look, you know, clean? Because he doesn't seem like he's doing that for some reason. But we see that Jessica Jones needs, you know, something that's really going to hit that core, because it seemed like Kilgrave really, his big weakness was not anybody in particular, but it was his parents. His parents were really the trigger that he says kind of, you know, made him who he is. So Jessica Jones, we got to see her more for private detective skills, which is good, because I'm starting to feel like we're kind of losing that detectiveness to the show, but then we kind of pick that back up here. She figures out who, you know, Kilgrave's mother is. It's actually a lady that's been kind of hiding out into a support group. You know, Jessica Jones tracks her down and the father into the same place, and it turns out that they were not necessarily just casting experiments for the hell of it. They were casting experiments because Kilgrave, as a kid, had a very, like a bad brain problem, you know, like brain damage of sorts, that would have killed him, from what I hear, by the time he was 12. So therefore, they chose the experiments, the doctors, aka his parents, because he pretty much was going to die. So it was the best way possible. And then when that happened, they did save his life, and then he kind of started to take advantage of it. Then he started to make them, you know, scared of him, and then that's the reason why they left. They didn't leave because they wanted to abandon him. They left because they didn't want to live a life of fear. So that was pretty much the point of that. So, you know, it goes to show that Kilgrave was, you know, pretty much speaking bullshit about his origin. It was kind of like the Joker with, you know, the scars, you know. He had constant stories about it, but he constantly, you know, kept on mentioning, you know, something personal in his life, how he got it. It wasn't an accident or whatever. It was his wife or, you know, father, whatever it may be. But for this, you know, he was lying about that thing, and actually turns out you really can't trust Kilgrave. So, you know, hey, it is what it is. I'm going to be looking at notes here. I do have notes. You know, like I said, you know, Jessica Jones was great in this thing. I don't necessarily know what exactly is the deal with Simpson's pills, as I said. Hopefully, like, it's 3 different pills. You know, you take that many pills, it's got to mean something. So, also, Simpson tells Trish to kind of kill Kilgrave. You know, he tells her, you know, Jessica's not going to do it, you know, for some reason. So he tells her, go after Kilgrave, kill him, use a gun, whatnot. And yeah, so that's what that was. I thought last time, you know, you kind of got into the mix with Kilgrave, you kind of nearly got yourself killed. So maybe you shouldn't really do this, Trish. It doesn't really make any sense to me personally. But yeah. Yeah, okay. And then as Jessica Jones finds the parents into the apartment, she brings them to the sealed off room. She also brings Jerry, and then after Jerry and, you know, Jerry tells Trish to take you know, a breather or whatnot. She's working her ways in. What happens, we'll see later on. I'm about to tell you. So what happens is we got the parents, we've got Trish, we've got all of them all in that sealed room except Simpson. He's still in the hospital. So we see that happening, and then it turns out that, you know, they're going in a room. It's a shock thing, just in case anything happens. As I said, you know, she goes in a room. They're kind of confronting it. So what I really liked was that she was trying to comfort Kilgrave, the mother, and say, you know, we're sorry, my boy, whatever. But you actually do see that Kilgrave really is nothing more than just a scared child. You know, a very angry child that does temper tantrums with killing and controlling people. So at the bottom of this mind-controlling, wacko, psycho obsession is just a scared little boy that is sad that his parents left him. You know, and then he eventually loses his mind because, you know, the mother tries to kill him while she's hugging him, and then she misses. She only stabs his hand, and he goes nuts. They're trying to get his powers on tape, so therefore he says, you know, he goes nuts, and this is where shit just goes down. Shit goes down to the max. You know, we start to see probably the best parts. It's so many things going on in this episode. I'm going to try to recap them. Ready? Okay, so He stabs, actually no, she stabs him, right? He gets pissed off. Then he starts to use his powers on camera. He tells her to stab herself every time she has abandoned him, for every year that she abandoned him. Now, she's dead. The father's about to rip his heart out because Kilgrave said that. Jessica Jones is trying to save them. They're trying to do the shock thing. Shock thing's not working. It turns out that Hogarth actually did take Kilgrave up on his offer, and therefore she unplugged the thing, so therefore Kilgrave is actually let loose. You can't shock Kilgrave. You can't stop his powers. Jones is going in there. She's trying to stop it. Everybody's leaving. Jerry's going. She picked up a gun. The detective is there. He's handcuffed. Then, Kilgrave lets loose. Trish is trying to use the gun that Simpson gave him. She gets a couple of shots off. He's shot, so he's wounded. He's leaving. He's going. Then the detective, which is handcuffed on the thing, he tells the detective to go. He tells Trish to, kill it, put a bullet in her brain. It turns out Trish actually had no more bullets left, so she actually got saved. I was about to say, then damn, that would have been a shocking thing. But that didn't happen. Jessica Jones is going after Kilgrave, and she has Kilgrave, and Kilgrave says, and this is pretty much the big twist of this episode where, Kilgrave is saying, let go, Jessica, and Jessica Jones, we better think, oh, damn, she almost has him again, but she lets go. But no, what happens is that she does not let go. Apparently, Jessica Jones does not go under Kilgrave's control anymore. She let that go, and for some reason, then Kilgrave says, detective, get her. Detective is he ripped his hand out of the damn thing. I was expecting a saw shit where I thought he was going to break the wrist or something, but he grabs Jessica. Jessica knocks him out. She runs out of Kilgrave outside. Kilgrave's gone. We get a little bit of a flashback as to showing why she thinks that Kilgrave's powers did not work. So apparently it must have been the accident. For some reason, maybe that broke the control or whatever it may be. The bus accident with Luke's wife and Kilgrave. Apparently, if that was the case, then that may have actually caused the reason why Jessica Jones is not, triggered to Kilgrave's control. But apparently, yes, she smiled a bit at the end because she knows now that she can go after him full reign. He cannot hurt her anymore. And now that's where we left off. Now, this episode, as I said, there was a lot of good parts of the thing. The only thing really negative I had to put in anything was really, it was kind of dumb for the mother to stab Kilgrave. I thought that was kind of stupid. But other than that, and Pam and Jerry are playing Tickle the Cat in the office. Of course, the Jerry stuff with her ex. Other than that, and also Hope. Just kind of at that end, Hope was going to take the plea deal. She'd get out in 20 years, but Jessica was like, hold on, I got Kilgrave, I'm going to bring him in and whatnot. Just kind of add that in there and then fast forward to everything I said. But yeah, go into the end. That's how it ended. Jessica Jones smiles. She knows that now. She's not under Kilgrave's control. She cannot be controlled anymore. She should go after him full reign. That is episode. That is what my thoughts were. This was actually a great episode and probably the best episode of the season so far. At least the last 8 to 10 minutes were fantastic. So my question is for you people out there is, what do you think Simpson's pills are? Do you think it's like the Super Soldier Serum? Let me know. Comment down below. Comment, subscribe, like that shit. But do it all. Share if you even want. That'd be cool. Subscribe. And, if you're watching this video, just subscribe. Help me out. Help me out to build up my subscribers and keep on doing that, all these videos. But thank you. This has been Chris Smith signing out. I got episode 10 coming tomorrow. Thanks.